It may be over, but it won't stop there. I am here for you, if you'd only...
But a James Blunt, Goodbye My Lover.
Yes, I love that song.
But hey, sometimes you need to say goodbye, adios, see you later, out of it. Don't you?
You do.
You do. This week we are talking about that we start a relationship and it is all awesome. It's all on like Donkey Kong. And then it's like, oh, who are you?
Yeah, they seem to have changed, don't they?
Yeah.
Now, to answer why that happens is we have to understand the human brain a wee bit. And you know we've got a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. And your conscious mind is only between 1% to maximum 5% of your thinking. So your subconscious mind, 95 to 99% of it, and it's so powerful and it is in control most of the time. Like if you ever, I'm sure you have driven somewhere that is common like to home or to work and you think, how did I even get here? Because the subconscious mind seems to have driven you while you've been busy thinking or doing something else.
Autopilot.
Yeah, so exactly right. The subconscious mind has got the driver's seat, so to speak, in your life. Now, in a relationship, in a new relationship, when you first fall in love, you are very, very present. And by present, I mean your conscious mind has got the driver's seat, which is great. That's what you want. And everything's wonderful and you're very much in love. Then after a while, this is the reason they call it the honeymoon period, because after a while we start to relax a bit, right? Because you know, at first we're on our best behaviour, okay, and that's easy when we're consciously present. But once we start to relax, the subconscious mind takes over the driver's seat again, and so all our habits of behaviour that perhaps aren't so good now coming up because we're more relaxed.
Ah, they come to the surface.
They come to the surface because we can only be on our best behaviour when we are consciously present. And sometimes our best behaviour is all the time, even when, you know, because some people are wonderful all the time, right? That means the programs in their subconscious mind are good ones.
So if you've noticed changes with your partner, people say you shouldn't change someone. You shouldn't change them, you should love them for who they are.
The thing is, it seems like they're a different person that you fell in love with initially because they've changed completely. And so you're seeing something different, you think, will they change back? Sometimes we do hang in a bit longer than we should in relationships, don't we? Because we think, well, they were wonderful before, surely they can be again. And the problem with that is that, remember, we've got to change the subconscious mind for them to change back, and that's very, very hard to do. There are a number of tips in my book, Heightening Your Happiness, which is due out next month.
Yeah, and we've got an image actually of that book. That's right, and I believe you've got the proof.
I
the first
do,
one.
very exciting.
Goodness.
Just making a few tweaks to it before it goes to print run.
Right.
But there's a few tips in there as to how you can work on your own subconscious mind. But basically, Andrea, it's very, very hard. It's very hard to change your own subconscious programming. And that's where I come in as an EFT practitioner, because EFT is one of the things that can actually rewrite over those programs in the subconscious mind. So I guess the short answer is, unless the person in your life just saying to themselves, oh, I want to change, I'll do better, I won't do that again, they may not have that in their power because they haven't got power over the subconscious mind. And that's why some people, as much as they want to be better, they just can't be. You actually need to get help. So I guess the short answer is they're probably not going to change unless they get help.
And then you're faced with maybe potentially walking away from that relationship.
Well, as you know, there are a couple of tips in the book about things that we need to do first before we walk away, like communicate our needs, wants and expectations, set guidelines and set boundaries and enforce them. And there's things like that in the book as well, because we've got to do those things first before we make the decision to leave.
Okay, so set boundaries. So you do have to make an effort. It's not as simple as just walking away. We need to actually make some form of effort.
Yes, we need to communicate what's not right, rather than just walk out one day. Communicate, well, this is what needs to change, and ensure that they can, as I said, get help to make those changes.
Yeah, okay, rightio. Now, on to next week. What will we be covering then?
Well, I thought we'd talk about anger. We haven't talked about that too much yet, about why we can be angry, why other people can be angry and what we can do about it.
And is that angry in everyday life or at certain times it flares you, or...?
All of those things. So if anyone's got any particular questions, maybe they can send them in and we can answer them.
Yeah, or they could be living with someone that actually does have anger problems and they love them, they just don't know how to help them. Not fix them, I'm not going to use that word fix them,
No.
but how we can help them.
How we can help them.
Okay, what's one tip for the week then before we go, Karen?
Well, Normally I like to give a tip about how we can help ourselves. And so my main tip is buy my book.
Buy my book. When is it being released?
It is, we're going to have it next month. As I said, we've got the proof, we're doing the final tweaks, and then it's going to the print run, so it'll be available next month.
Okay.
But my other tip really is kind of a non-tip, and it's this, that working with the subconscious mind is very difficult. It really is, and I do like to give people self-help tips, but really in this case, it's one of those things you really do need to go and get help to change.
Okay.
Even myself, if I've got a big issue, I'll actually go to someone else because it's hard to get in touch with my own subconscious mind.
Rightio.
Easy
Yeah, that's
with
right.
my clients.
And remember, setfree.co.nz is Karen's website as well, so go along there and have a look and get in contact. Thanks a lot, Karen.